Hello everyone, and welcome to a Rag Plays channel update for the 11th of May, 2017. Where to begin? This isn't going to be a very organized update, guys. I don't really have any itinerary for what I want to talk about, so it's going to be very stream of consciousness. If you're not into that thing, you may want to leave now because it's going to get quite rambly, and I apologize for that in advance. That's just kind of who I am. The main thing I want to talk about is where the channel is going. If you watched the Aiden Chronicles, the first Mage finale, I made mention of the game we are going to be LPing next, but I also want to talk a little bit more about where the channel is headed past that and in the future. I did make brief mention of it in that same video, but I think we need to go, a little bit deeper. And by the way, thank you guys so much. If any of you watched the finale and were there, and all among you who commented and left me such kind words of encouragement, it really means a lot to me. And the LP turned out exactly like I wanted it to. It was exactly what I had hoped for, and I'm so grateful for that still. Now that Aiden is wrapped up, as you people will know, and as I mentioned in that video, we are going to be playing Thief Gold, which is a game by IDOS Interactive. I think it came out about 1998 or 99. I think it was 98. And it is the definitive version of a game called Thief the Dark Project, which launched in, it had some bugs to it, but they fixed everything in Thief Gold. The game's been out for years and years, and it's currently on Steam. I'll go ahead and show you that now. I'll show you some screenshots of it. Go back to the first one. Basically, it is a first-person stealth game that has a dark and light mechanic, so you can hide in shadows, you sneak around, you steal stuff, you hide from guards. It's mission-based, so each of the missions will give me different objectives that I have to do, and it also has a pretty cool story. I really think you're going to like this if you're into gameplay, and if you're into seeing me possibly get screwed over by the game quite often. It's going to be fun. It's got sound mechanics, it's got, if you're walking on floor, if you're walking on tile, or if you're walking on wood, each of your footsteps will carry different amounts of sound with them and will alert the guards and enemies, potentially, to where you are faster or slower or whatever. If you walk on carpet, you move silently. The audio experience of this game is amazing. I know that sounds pretentious as fuck, but you kind of gotta play it with really good sound card, or a really good pair of headphones, surround sound. I wish I had good headphones, honestly, but I don't. Even so, it has this. It's really awesome. It's the way it does it's great. You'll see. It's gonna be a lot of fun. That I should make mention of right now is going to be coming up in, let me check my calendar here. Expect it no sooner than the 20th. I may even begin recording on the 20th, but I need, and I hope you'll understand this, I need about a week off just to kind of collect myself and to think about this on how I'm going to introduce and just get started, actually have a good introduction to the new series. It takes me a while. I actually wrote out, it was in episode 2 of Aiden, on what I was going to say, but I don't think Thief will require that much. I think I've introduced it pretty damn well here, but, just in case. But also within that week, I have to do some spring cleaning in my office here, because you gotta make hay while the sun shines, and even though it is cloudy and rainy today, the sun is going to be out and it's going to be really nice, so I'd like to give the floors a good mopping and wipe down the computer, clean everything up, and make it nice and spick and span to begin a new year with, because I don't spend a lot of time in the office other than when I'm recording, so it's easy to keep it clean for a long time before I have to do it again. It's been a long time since I've cleaned it, so it needs to be done. That could take me a few days if I do a thorough job. Anyway, So don't expect any new the LP to start up before the 20th. So with that out of the way, and I regret to say this, there is bad news for anyone who watches the Penitenziagite campaign. Due to circumstances beyond my control, within the next there'll be 3 more episodes after this, and then it is going to have to be cancelled. And I'm loath to do this. I made the foolish mistake. I'll explain to you what happened. I explained it in the end video of that series. But Crusader Kings 2, the way it saves Iron Man games is that it makes a single save whenever you quit and whenever you load, I think. It might just be when you quit. But it always saves the game no matter what you've done, no matter what has happened. That's fine. That's the nature of Iron Man. Problem with that is, if the save becomes corrupt, then your file is screwed, which is what happened at the end of the last episode of Crusader Kings 2. I believe I talk about how, well, you'll see it. The game will crash on me, and I've tried so many ways to get it to work again. I've closed programs. It's not any sort of ancillary programs that I have running in the background. It is strictly the game, and I can play for 2 days until a high priority message shows up, and then the game crashes. The file is screwed. It's my own fault for believing that Paradox games are stable enough to warrant a, I figured to myself, why not get it, why not try to go for a few achievements. If it happens, it happens. I wasn't particularly trying to go for achievements on the run, but I was thinking, if I get them, why not? Why not have it on Iron Man? I know how to play the game. I can play it fine, and I'm not worried about dying or losing or anything like that, or the campaign ending abruptly. I didn't think about crashes and what happens when you have a corrupted game and there's only one crash and the save that you have is corrupt. And that sucks, and I'm disappointed. I don't know. I feel bad because I put a lot of time into the art for that campaign, and I was really, really enjoying the campaign. And I feel like it's a waste. It's such a waste, and I feel like I've wasted people's time because it failed. I may do a relaunch of it. I may have to relaunch the campaign and start from scratch. We weren't that far into it anyway, and maybe if I scrub scrub the tutorial section, which took up at least 8 or 9 videos. Really, we're only 3 or 4 videos in right now. It wouldn't take long to get back to where we were. I know how to do it. I can, as long as everything goes well, it'd be fine. Definitely not on Iron Man again, because I can't trust the game to not screw my saves up. So it's a bit of a problem, and I need to think about it a while. I'm going to upload the remaining footage for it. I think I have 2 or 3 more episodes after today's, which has already been updated. If you look at the top left of my screen, I'm waiting to publish it. Yeah, I don't feel good about wasting what I've done, the cover art for the videos, and I was having too much fun. I want to keep playing it, and I want to do it. I want to do my goals in it. It's just, that game pisses me off sometimes. It's fierce. And I know it's not my most popular series, but, whatever. I don't care about views. I want to do what I want to do. So that's Thief and Crusader Kings 2 taken care of, and the brief break I need to take care of numerous things and to think about how I'm going to implement, introduce the campaign in Thief. So expect nothing new past maybe the 15th of May until about the 20th. There'll be another couple episodes of CK2 in the meantime, but the 20th is when I'll be back for sure, and maybe the 21st at the latest. Other than that, we need to now take a wider look. I've been talking to some of you guys about, what we're gonna play in the future. what's coming down the road? What, you know, if you're not interested in Thief and CK2, what is there for you on my channel? And that kind of bothers me that I can't please everybody. I have to remind myself of that and just do my best at showing games that I want to show, that I have things to say about. For me to play a game, I need to have things to talk about, or it's just me, you know, oh, I'm gonna go here, and I'm doing this thing now, and I'm, you know, and maybe if it's a new game, I discover something new that I love, and that's fine, but generally speaking, I'm going to be playing games that I have experience with, and that I know a lot about, so I can be passionate about them and really kind of give you guys something to be entertained with. At least let me talk to you about it. Let me do things in it that I know how to do that other people may not know how to do. Things that are interesting. That's not to say I'm not open to playing new games or other games. It's just it's the things that I want to do specifically on the channel are very very specific, and I already have in mind. So. I'm gonna show you what you're gonna expect. So right now we're gonna take a look in my games folder, and just to show you, since I've been talking to other people, that I have many games, and I really don't mind suggestions of these games. If you guys would like to see a certain one of these games, please chime up in the comments, and I'll see what I can do, see if I'm in the mood for it. Even if it's not one that I say I have immediate plans for in the future, but unless I say that I don't want to do it outright. I'll start from the top, and then we'll work our way down. I have a few more on Steam, and there's even more in my wish list on Steam, but I'm not going to boot up Steam for this. I think I'm just going to go with the ones that I kind of put in my start menu, and most of them are the ones that I really am attached to anyway, so if I want to play it, it's likely it's going to be on this list. Aiden Chronicles the First Mage. I actually made my own, I found an icon for it, and even though it's an emulated game, I just wanted to have a cool separate thing there, so that's, never mind that. I'm going to just go down until I reach something that I need to talk about, and I think I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way up, in fact. So the first thing that I'll talk about is, I guess we'll just do, to start off, I'm gonna talk about The Witcher. I talked about this a little bit in the Aiden Chronicles finale, and this is probably, The Witcher, the first one, is probably my favorite game of all time currently. I have so many memories of it, I have so much to say about it. It's the reason I created this channel, just so I could talk about this game eventually. Expect this game, it's going to be uploaded someday. It'll probably be in the spring, maybe next year, maybe the year after. It's going to be, you know, who knows when, but it's going to happen. I tend to play games, it's kind of weird with me, and I mention this to friends, and they kind of like think I'm crazy or something, but I kind of play games usually when I played them originally. If it's an RPG or something, it's a good way to capture that feeling back and kind of get me in the zone again, how I was then, and to think about what I was doing then, and then, you know, it helps me get more immersed to play a game around the same time of year that I played it before. So, The Witcher I played in spring of 2012, and I played a lot of hours of it, so I plan on playing it in spring of some year soon. Not this year, certainly. It's already past spring anyway, just about. But next year, perhaps, or the year after. But I really want this LP to be special when I do make it. So I need some practice. I need to do other things before I get there. The Witcher 2 and 3. Definitely want to be playing those as well. I've had these games since they've launched. Like, not The Witcher 1, but The Witcher 3 I've had since it came out, and I haven't put more than 20 minutes into it because I won't play a game out of order. I need to play The Witcher 2 first, and I've had that game forever, and I don't get around to games very often. It takes me forever. And now that The Witcher has been taken care of, I really want to play it, as I said. Thief. Thief is coming up, but also I want you to expect Thief 2. It's the same engine. It's the direct sequel, and it's a great game. You can expect that game to turn up on my channel eventually. It won't be subsequently, it won't be right after Thief, unless there's a lot of demand for it, and unless I feel like playing it. if you guys are really happy about Thief, then I'm going to play Thief 2 in good time. You know, maybe not the next LP after it, but then the one after that, just to keep it relatively fresh. I like to do a variety of things. Trackmania Nations. This is a racing game, and I may play it as a one-off in the summer, as like a summer festival type mini series of LPs where I just take, you know, quick one-shots of games that I don't have huge plans to play a great deal of, but I would like to at least show off and kind of have a little bit of fun with on camera. Maybe I'll play it multiplayer with friends, certainly, and we'll have a hoot with that game. It's fun. I like racing games every now and then. It's not a channel focus, obviously. I'm kind of more into the RPGs and the real-time strategy and grand strategy, but I expect that. Tsar Burden of the Crown is a real-time strategy in the same vein of like Age of Empires 1 and 2 from way back in the day, but I liked it better as a kid because I got to play it. Its gameplay is more fun than Age of Empires, in my opinion, because the amount of units you can build is like up to 1,000. It's way more, so I loved it better as a kid. There's a lot of research to be done in it, and there's the maps are cool, really big random maps, like huge random maps for the day, and the naval mechanics are fun. It's a fun little real-time strategy from a bygone era. I bet nobody will remember that game. I bet you nobody's played this game. I bet you hardly anybody knows about this game. If any of you know about this game, I would be surprised. Anyway, it's kind of one that I didn't even know about, but for a chance. A friend brought it over once, and I played it early 2000s, or maybe even the late 90s. No, it was early 2000s, yeah. Long time ago. Jeez. Lord of the Rings games. You can expect Lord of the Rings, The Battle for Middle-earth 2, a real-time strategy, and it'll be played sometime in the winter. I'll probably be playing the good campaign of it, and it's a lot of fun. Great music, so many memories. You can also expect maybe some multiplayer of Battle for Middle-earth 2, Rise of the Witch King, which is a lot of fun multiplayer as well. I really like these games. I can't wait to play them. Sometime in the future. Don't know when. Might be this winter, might be next winter, who knows. Elder Scrolls, Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim. I have watched far more of these games than I have ever played. In fact, I don't think I've played more than an hour in each of them. And I don't know if I'm good enough on camera. I've never played a game, or I've never been good at playing games, also potentially Daggerfall as well, aside from those three. I don't have it downloaded, but I could get it at any time because it's free. I never play games that are open world, where they just drop you into the game and expect you to go off on your own without any sort of goal, and I think I need to start doing that. I'm just somewhat apprehensive of doing it because some of the YouTubers that I really admire, Variax and Squee and Grimmeth for Daggerfall, Variax's Oblivion Let's Play, if you like the Elder Scrolls Oblivion, go watch his LP of it. Go watch Squee's LP of Oblivion. They have done some of the best roleplay I've ever seen, and just some of the best moments on YouTube are from those LPers. I really admire these guys. They're underrated, and they're probably the biggest among us for role-playing gamers. You know, people who like to play RPGs, check out them. Go see them. Anybody on that list, practically. Each of these guys, I heavily recommend. They do great content. I don't know if I could ever do justice to Oblivion or Skyrim after seeing Variax's Oblivion Let's Play or Squee's Oblivion Let's Play. They're so good at what they do in those environments, I'm not sure I'd have the courage to even try. So, we'll see about that. Maybe someday. Who knows when. Not anytime soon, I don't think. Stronghold. I originally want to play the first Stronghold game. It is a castle-building real-time strategy sim, and it's kind of a hybrid. It's got a little bit of economics. It's got a little bit of everything. It's not nearly as complex as some of the other games that I've played, but it's a game from my childhood. I really like it. I love the campaign in it. I want to play it. Great game. It's on Steam right now in an HD remaster. I actually have that version as well, but if you don't have it, go out and buy it. Any of these games I'm mentioning, it's because I love them quite a lot. Stellaris. I originally had filmed probably 20 episodes of this to do as an LP with a friend of mine, Tex. I'm not sure if he's been on the channel yet. I think he was in a holiday special that I did a while ago, but we put so much effort into doing that, and I feel so bad because I wasn't able to upload. I feel bad for him. I feel like I let him down because the sound settings were crap. It was like baby's first OBS session, and my volume was too low, his volume was too high, but it was such a great series, and I should have just uploaded it. I should have said screw it and uploaded it, but it's gone. And maybe I can convince him to do. He wanted to do it again, but you know, it's just time constraints with people. You know, you gotta do things when people are available. No plans for StarCraft, though I have StarCraft 1 and 2, and all the expansions for 2. My friend Tex actually just bought that for me, StarCraft 2, and maybe I'll do a campaign of it someday. I don't have any plans for it. Primordia. This is a game, this is a point-and-click adventure game that has a lot of role-play type options. It's fully voiced. It's a great game. I love the hell out of this game, and it's barely even known. It's one of those games in the classic LucasArts Secret of Monkey Island and those type of games, the old ones, the King's Quests, and it's a post-apocalyptic cyberpunk adventure. If you love that sort of thing, I wasn't even a big fan of that genre, but that game changed my mind just because there's something about it. The music, it's wonderful. Wonderful game, and the developers, I love the developers for this game. If you go on Steam, if you go on the forums, on the Steam forums, they'll talk to you. The guy who wrote this game will talk to you. That is just great. You don't see that, and that should be praised. For the community interaction that he puts, that he loves his game so much that he'll go out and talk to the fans. I really love developers that do that. Mountain Blade, Warband. Expect it. We are going to be playing. It is a medieval, third-person RPG, open-world sandbox RPG. I just said I don't play those very often, but Warband was kind of the exception in that you kind of gather an army together. If you played Star Wars Battlefront, it feels a lot like that, except it's medieval. You get a horse and you ride around, and you can get castles and take over countries, and it's wonderful. It's all third-person. The combat system is awesome. I'd love to show it off. I'm sure plenty of people have done better stuff than I have, but I've never seen them, so I don't feel so bad about doing that. We'll be playing that at some point. Minecraft, probably never. You know, that's be a good April Fool's Day joke. I've seen plenty of those. Upload. I'm gonna switch the focus of the channel to Minecraft. It's gonna be great, guys. We're gonna do it all the time. We're gonna find that iron ore deep in the earth and be completely bored by it in 3 episodes, I'm sure. Hey, I'll play it if people want to see it, but I don't mind. I liked it. I played a lot of it though, and it's kind of that thing. Once you've done it for such a long time, you don't really want to play any more of it, no matter what they do or what updates they put out. Don't expect Mass Effect. I bought these games to complete my BioWare collection back in the day. I don't really know how good they are, but I'm not a fan of generic sci-fi in general, so maybe someday. I don't know. I shouldn't judge books by their cover, but I have so many games that I need to get to before that happens. Probably will never happen. LucasArts. I want you to be absolutely certain in your mind that you will see Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic at some point. And Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2. These games, I have spent a heavily modded Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 1, in fact. I've spent so much time, probably 2 years of my life, modding these games and playing with other people's mods. And The lore, the universe, the music, it's just all so great. The storylines, especially in Knights of the Old Republic 2, it's so good. And I can't wait to show those. Don't know when, it'll be autumn sometime that I play those. Maybe this autumn, I doubt it. Maybe next autumn. Who knows? Star Wars Republic Commando. You can expect that game. It's a first-person shooter. Kind of a Halo clone. The original Halo. Set in a Star Wars universe, got great music. It's fun to play. It'd be a short one. It would be like, 10 episodes would be done. I want to play it. It'll be something I do, I think. In the winter, you might expect me to fart around in Star Wars Battlefront, as a Christmas special at some point. Who knows? You might see some Jedi Academy, Star Wars Jedi Academy multiplayer with my friends. It could be fun to watch that. League of Legends, there's the game I play most on my free time with friends of mine, co-op, and I'm not anywhere near good at it to ever consider putting it on my channel, and it's kind of one of those games that YouTube is already oversaturated with anyway, and I don't think anybody would be interested in that. If you want to see me play it, by all means mention it. I'll put it up, but expect rage, because I'm not very good, and I usually play ARAMs anyway, so Jade Empire, not the best BioWare game, but it's one that I will play, probably. I like this game well enough. I'll probably play it after Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, because this game really does copy Knights of the Old Republic quite a bit, and it'd be cool to see like the comparisons for you guys to make references between this game and this game. It's got a cool combat system, kind of set in a Chinese, fantasy Chinese type world. Not really my setting, but it was really fun to play, and I like it's great. It's a great game. Inquisitor, a very, very classic old school RPG, isometric. It's kind of a mixture between Baldur's Gate and Diablo, if you can imagine such a thing. Heavy on story. It's got like this pseudo-Christian medieval mythos going on, and it's even more closely related. Like, they actually talk about God in it, but it's kind of more like a fantasy god based on the Christian god, and you fight demons, and you're an inquisitor, and you burn heretics, and it could be fun. Don't know how much of it I'll play, because I tried playing it before. Very old school, and I'd have to do most of the voice acting myself again, and we know how that is, and how much effort that takes. It's quite a lot of reading in that game. Might be something we do. I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, a game recommended to me by Spoonie, the former Channel Awesome guy. Not recommended to me personally, but of course through a video. Very cool point-and-click adventure game, kind of a horror game. It might be a Halloween episode coming up sometime soon. Halo is where my first-person shooting career really, well, not really began, but I used to play the hell out of GoldenEye on Nintendo 64, but and couch co-op that game. But Halo was the first online-type gaming I did. Aside from Battlefront, I played... Battlefront was my first... Star Wars Battlefront was my first online shooter from back in 2005-ish, when I actually had a good computer that I could play online games. Halo, I played that straight from about 2006 all the way to 2005, even all the way up to 2010. Religiously, I was in a Halo race clan, and it was so much fun. I wish I could show that game type off to you guys, just having the fun that I have with friends in that game, and I wish we could get all their perspectives as well. I might be able to convince them to do that someday, but finding the match for it might be the real problem. And yeah, we'll see. Guild Wars. I want to... This was a game, funnily enough, that my cousin recommended me get. He was like, dude, you gotta go out and get Guild Wars. We'll play it together all the time, then he never played it with me. He, I guess, lost interest in computers by that point. I was like, alright, whatever, well, I'll shelve this for a few years and never play it again. I have so many hours in this game now, it's unbelievable. I had to go out and make new friends to be, well, it's actually the people I met through Halo are most of my friends now, and still my friends, and they'll play this game with me, and I would like to show off, maybe do a weekend series of Guild Wars doing dungeon runs, and just like soloing dungeons, to show that it can be done even for the smallest of people. It's not a super entertaining game to watch, since it's an MMO. If I was to play through the whole thing, I wouldn't, but actually the friend of mine who got me into it most, played Aiden with me, went by the name of Zed. He and I played the hell out of this game. We played through all the campaigns. Tex and I also did that as well. A lot of us did, and we went through most of this game. We went through all the game, and it was a lot of fun. And I'd love to do that again so many times. Reusing the same jokes, making the same laughs at all the things that would happen in it. Some funny shit happened. I wish I could have had it on camera, but alas, maybe someday. I don't know. No plans for Gothic. I only have the first 3 Fallout games. Fallout 1, Fallout 2, and Fallout Tactics. I don't have Fallout 3, even though I watched a lot of it on YouTube. No plans to buy Fallout 4 either. Fable the Lost Chapters. You can probably expect that game to turn up on the channel eventually. It's probably in spring. You might see it eventually, some spring down the road. It's a fun RPG adventure game. Xbox era. It's got nice graphics. Runs pretty okay. And I had fun playing it, so I may go back to that. I probably hadn't played it since 2009, though. Been a long time. EU4 is like CK2, but in a later time period. You might see that, but I'm kind of behind on expansion packs that I'd have to buy a bunch to get it up to date. Emulators. I could play anything from my childhood on Nintendo 64. I've got most of the ROMs I had, and plus a few extras for Nintendo 64. I have every ROM for the NES Entertainment System. I took the time to do it one summer, and the Sega Genesis. I never got around to filling out my Super Nintendo collection, maybe someday. I have some games for that as well, and, I could get potentially anything off of these, but I don't see emulators being something I'm going to do very much of in the future, and I know that's kind of a ironic thing, considering I started my channel based on Nintendo 64 games, so you would think that would be where the direction the channel was going. I would be playing more Nintendo 64 games, but it just kind of happens that most of the games I played back then were games I just really played because they were fun to play, or they were fun to play multiplayer. I played with other people, and I owned a lot of games. I owned a lot of single-player games, but I didn't really complete many of them. And I don't really have much to say about other games like that, like maybe aside from Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time. But so many people have done those, I'd imagine that it's like, why bother? I'm sure somebody else has more to say about them. I'd have my memories, and I'd exhaust my memories in, one episode of, what I did when I was a kid in those games. 'Cause it's played the same way no matter who you are. And that could be boring. Elite Dangerous, a big open-world space game, spaceships and flying spaceships and crashing into hangars and stuff. I hear it's hard. I played it once and I was like, wow, this isn't really that hard, and I'm playing with a mouse and keyboard, so, maybe someday, if I get some people to play it with, a couple of my friends have it, I might be able to hornswoggle them into joining me for piracy or something. I don't know what we would do in that. Dragon Age Origins, that's a possibility. I tried playing it one year right after I had played The Witcher, but I was like, wow, this is really kind of just worse than The Witcher, so why am I playing it? I don't think I gave it a fair shake at the time. I had come off a big game and I tried to go into another big game, and maybe I was a bit burnt out, and I didn't experience it well enough to make a good enough statement on it. I tried. I should play it again. I have Dragon Age 2 as well. I hear that wasn't as good, so, you know. Diablo 1 and Diablo 2. Diablo 1 is one of my favorite dungeon crawling games. You can expect this to show up on the channel eventually. Got a good dark fantasy vibe, kind of awesome music. Diablo 2 is the game that basically I stopped playing Halo for and convinced half of my Halo clan to come to the dark side with and start playing. We were all addicted to that for a good 4 or 5 months, and we kind of left the clan because of it. But anyway, it's a fun game. I don't know if I want to play it because I imagine other people have played it a lot, but I'd like to play Diablo 1 at least. Deus Ex, expect Deus Ex Human Revolution. It's a good cyberpunk game, first-person shooter with RPG elements. It's great. Dark Souls, if you want to see me fail a lot, because I've never played it, I'd be playing it completely blind, and I'd completely suck, and, you know, be complete trash at something. If you want to see me be garbage at a game, you know, say, I want to see you play Dark Souls. I don't know anything. Expect a lot of whining, a lot of complaining, and a lot of casualness, because I don't know anything about the game beyond maybe 20 or 30 minutes that I put into it once, and then I was just like, yeah, these controls are pretty fucked up, and I'm going to have to play with them a lot before they work properly, and never really did, so I'd have to go and do that before I started playing it, but, you know, maybe. Might be hilarious to watch, who knows. Probably be cringeworthy, though, for most people, since I hear this game community is very backseat drivery. So, I don't know. Dark Messiah of Might and Magic, I would like to play this game. It's a... imagine like a super easy Dark Souls with, you know, some platform puzzles and stuff like that, and a pretty cool combat system in it. It's a first-person slasher type game with a cool story. Crusader Kings 2, we've already played that. We've been playing it, and I continue to plan on playing it anytime a new expansion comes out. I'll put up a new series. Call of Cthulhu. I'm not going to be playing any of the Call of Duties. I only have the old Call of Duties anyway from my own childhood. 1, United Offensive, and 2. Those are my favorite ones because they're all World War II based. Call of Cthulhu Dark Corners of the Earth, a Lovecraftian horror, first-person shooter horror game. I really wanted to do this for Halloween, and in fact, let me show you the channel art that I had made for it. I uploaded 1 episode of it, and I had to pull it right away because I learned that the game was crashing at a particular spot. This was a game that was designed to be played on Windows XP, and when you play it on 7, there is no guarantee it'll work, and I tried what I could to get it to work, and it just was a no-go. It froze every time it hit certain cutscenes. It was like they would hang. The game wouldn't even crash, but I had no way of getting past certain parts, and trying it, I learned I completely sucked at it. That was the other thing. So, I'm bummed out that I couldn't have put that up for the Halloween episode last year. I had plans to do it, and it just never happened. I might try and get it to work again, since I do have the art made for it, and, you know, shame to waste good art. That's why I don't want to waste my Monks and Mystics stuff, because I did put time into this. It took me quite a while, even though it's like a very basic job that looks kind of shit. I did it, damn it, and I'm proud of it. Where were we? Right, games. So, that's Call of Cthulhu. I would like to fix that again, but don't hold your breath. The Black Isle Games. I have put a ton of time into Icewind Dale. I've beaten the game many times. I would say expect Icewind Dale to happen, and expect it in winter at some point, probably in February, March, January, that time of year. Who knows when, what year that'll be, but definitely in that season. Same with Icewind Dale 2. I played it once with a friend, the same friend as I played Aiden with, the same friends I played Guild Wars with, and we played Icewind Dale 1 and 2 together, and we also played Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate was the first game I'd ever played for PC back in the day. It was it's a classic RPG. Whenever somebody talks about classic PC RPGs, Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale, those are the ones they bring up all the time. Planescape Torment. I tried playing Planescape Torment. It's a very long, one of the best stories ever written for a game. Good role-playing, very bad combat. There's a remaster of it that just got launched on Steam. I may buy it and play it someday. But all of these games are very special to me. Like I said, Baldur's Gate was the first PC RPG I'd ever played, the first PC game, I believe, that I ever played. When my cousin came down one year for Christmas, a different cousin than the one who got me introduced to Guild Wars, but he was the one who really shaped my taste in games, now that I think about it. He showed me some of these awesome games, Icewind Dale, Baldur's Gate, Diablo 2, and it had a great influence on me, great taste in games he had back then. Yeah. You know, I'm not as big of a fan of Baldur's Gate as most people are. I actually prefer Icewind Dale, which is unusual. But I do have things to say about Baldur's Gate. Maybe it'll happen someday. I've never played Baldur's Gate 2 in all these years. I bought it. I've bought all these games I've had since like the early 2000s or the late 90s. And some of them I still haven't touched in all that time. Baldur's Gate 2 I didn't play very much of. I tried to, but then my file got deleted or something. I don't remember what happened. So long ago. Arcanum is a Steam game. I don't have plans for that. APB Reloaded. I wish that I was able to do more of that with friends, but when we started playing this, I planned on it being a series that would take place, you know, maybe once a month or something. But it just happened to be that we kind of all got funned out on it because we'd been playing it for a month straight before I had uploaded the first episode, so yeah. You may see it again, but it's hard to convince people to play. And, yeah, so what am I missing? Amnesia: The Dark Descent is a horror game. You might see it at Halloween. Aiden we've already done, and Alpha Protocol is a spy-type game that I've never played yet. I have plenty more games than this on Steam. I'm not going to boot it up now because I've already been rambling for like 30 minutes, I'm sure. And I have more games than that still. If you guys see anything on here that you might want to play, I'm going to open each of these just to expand them all to show you kind of what I have available. I will never play Counter-Strike. That was another one that my cousin who got me into Guild Wars introduced me to. He's like, man, you gotta get Counter-Strike. It's an awesome game, and then we'll play it all the time. And then he just never played it with me. I was like, well, shit. But yeah, I have a lot of games. More than that, I might play a game called an edutainment game called Amazon Trail 3 at some point. If you've played Oregon Trail, you know what I mean. But that's the one I grew up with, was Amazon Trail. So I will probably play that. I think it would be kind of hilarious, and I don't know. I'll try and play it badly because I know how to play it properly, but I may just try and be bad at it, like I'm playing it for the first time. I have a lot of stories about that game from back in the day. Yeah, just expand all these so you can see. Some of these are Steam games, but I keep the ones in my start menu that I think are proper games. I have more small ones kicking around here and there on Steam that I could potentially do, and there's even more on my wish list that I may buy. But I'm not against buying games to play. It's just I have plans to do things that I want to do and want to play, and minus those are just the default Microsoft games. Quake 3, I love that game. Oh, System Shock. I was not super impressed with System Shock 2 when I played it. It's kind of like a poor man's Thief, because it doesn't have any stealth mechanics, and it's made on the same engine, I think. Apparently it has a good story, but it was all in text logs, so I was like, well, this is kind of boring, and I hope they do something else with the remaster, make it a little bit more interesting. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. Variax currently has a LP of that going on right now. I haven't watched it, I just don't have time to watch my favorite content makers anymore, because I'm making content now. So, anyway. Oh, War Thunder. War Thunder is a fun game. It's a flight sim, kind of arcadey flight sim, that I'm really good at, if I do say so myself, or I'm told that I'm good at. I don't know how good I am at it anymore, because I haven't played in a year. But maybe you'll see some multiplayer content there with some friends of mine. Other than that, I think that is pretty much all, you guys. As I said, if you see anything on this list, I'm going to scroll up it very slowly if I can, that you might like to see, please do tell me about it, because your opinion does matter, and I will, if it's something I want to play anyway, you know, I may just play it. But until then, this episode has gone on way too long, and it needs to end. Thank you for joining me on this channel update, and I will see you next time. Comments down below on anything you might like to see, of course. Thanks for watching.